What's up, everybody? This is Bruce, aka Geektacular, and today I've got another unboxing for you. Today I'm going to be unboxing something pretty cool, and this is the Atari Flashback 8 Gold Activision Edition. So this is actually a plug-and-play console. There's been a lot of Atari flashbacks over the years. It's made by a company called AtGames, and basically it doesn't take cartridges or anything, but it kind of is styled to look like an old Atari 2600, and it has a bunch of built-in games in it. And I've kind of been waiting. I actually own an Atari 7800 and a lot of 2600 games for it. So I actually have an original one with original paddles and original controllers, joysticks, and all that. It's plugged in. I play it pretty frequently. But I always wanted one that I could hook up sort of to my main television in my living room, which is obviously sort of a modern TV that has mostly HDMI. So I've always sort of wanted one, and Atari games take up a lot of space, and honestly, even if you can get an Atari 7800 or 2600 plugged into a modern television, it doesn't really look very good. So this upscales all these games to 720p, and it also includes games that are a little bit expensive or harder to find, like Hero. Hero is a highly regarded Atari 2600 game by Activision that's actually kind of expensive and not easy to locate. So I was sort of holding out for a few things before I picked up a Flashback, because I've always sort of been kind of interested but not ready to pull the trigger. And what convinced me about this one was its density of Activision games. So this is actually the Activision Edition version of the 8 Gold, which means that it took several of the sort of homebrew garbage titles off the normal Flashback 8 Gold and replaced them with more Activision games. And Activision is my favorite Atari 2600 publisher. So I was waiting for that. I was waiting for good wireless controllers. These ones are 2 gigahertz wireless controllers, not IR, so they don't have to be in line of sight of the console. They'll work via RF, via 2 gigahertz. So that's one thing I was waiting for, was a good wireless controller experience. The other thing, obviously, HDMI. The Flashback 8 Gold is the first Flashback that has HDMI, so that was another selling point. And just, again, the fact that there's a special edition that has almost all the Activision games. It's missing a few, and some of my favorite iMagic games are not on here, who's probably either maybe slightly above Activision or slightly below Activision. I like Activision and iMagic both, but this does include some of those as well. So I wanted to go ahead and do a quick unboxing. For some reason, this is actually easiest to find at Walmart, walmart.com, so I'll put a link to that in the description. Usually I put Amazon links, but this particular edition, the Activision edition, it was exclusive to Walmart for a long time, and it's kind of expensive because you have to get it from a third party on Amazon and most other sites. It's kind of sold out in some places, but Amazon has it easily in stock for retail price, so you can just as easily pick it up there. So without further ado, after I've been talking for 4 minutes, which I'm sure I'll get comments about, let's go and check out the packaging. So it comes in this big box, black matte background, and all the images that you see are glossy. So you can see how the picture of the console is glossy, but the background here is like matte. You've got the Activision stripe across the top here, and I think that actually appears on the in-game menu as well. They revamped the menu for the Flashback 8 Gold as well for the HDMI, and it looks a lot nicer than it used to. Basically, there were just enough improvements in this particular model to finally entice me to pick it up. So it advertises 40th anniversary, 2 gigahertz wireless controllers, 720p HD output. Also, the other thing that this one has that older ones don't are save states, which is also something that I kind of wanted because I've been playing my SNES Classic, and that also has save states, which are really, really nice. So I was kind of waiting for that feature to sort of get good too. So it's got that as well, which is awesome. Advertises a couple of games here: Pitfall, River Raid, Kaboom. Even though Kaboom is normally played with paddle controllers, so you have to bring your own paddle controllers there. Although you can use the joystick, it's just probably impossible. Hero is basically one of the ones that I'm so excited about because I've always heard Metal Jesus on YouTube talking about Hero and how awesome it is, and I've actually never played it, despite owning an Atari for a long time. At 2600. So yeah, it advertises the same games there. It's got the same basic image from the front. Here's the side here. This just shows you some of the contents, as you can kind of see there. It gives you some details about the system and what all the buttons do. So, pretty simple. I think there's one controller that has the navigation buttons, and then one that is just for like the second player. So it does come with two. Here's the back. So it does advertise a good number of the games that it comes with. As you see, it does come with some iMagic games, which I guess Activision has the licensing for now, such as Atlantis, Demon Attack, Dragonfire. The one that's missing that I really wish they would add is Cosmic Arc. I love Cosmic Arc. It's like one of my favorite Atari 2600 games. I can just play that one on my actual Atari that I have plugged up, so not that big of a deal. I can play it whenever I want, but I really wish that in a future version, if anybody from @Games or Atari sees this at some point, we would love Cosmic Arc on here. Or I would love it, at least. And then it does have a bunch of the Atari standards: Adventure, Yar's Revenge, all the basic sports games, Asteroids, Breakout, Cannon Bomber, Centipede. So yeah. The only things that it strips out of the normal 8 gold edition in this Activision version are Frogger and Space Invaders, but those are actually the arcade ports and not the Atari ports. So if you're just looking for Atari stuff, you're not really missing much. Those are good games, but the versions that are on the regular 8 gold, the standard version, are actually not even the Atari versions. So there you go. So it's just held on by one little sticker here. Let me make sure I showed you. I don't think I showed you this side. This side just has all the fine print here. And then this is the top. On the top part, it just says @Games right there. Nothing crazy. So let's go ahead and open this up. So this is what it looks like when you first open it up. It does come with an HDMI cable, which is nice. It looks like maybe it's 4 feet, maybe 6 feet, but very nice. And then, it comes with, what is this? A fold-out instruction manual with a game list. So yeah, there's a game list. If you're curious, here's the game list that it comes with. Let's see if I can open it up. Here we go. So Flashback 8 gold. This is basically just all of the instructions. How do I start playing? You need a little flow chart for that. How to play 3 to 4 player games, how to install batteries in your controllers. And on the back of this is just a game list. I've heard that some of the lists on in some places are not entirely accurate. I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't know if this is 100% accurate or not. I've heard that some of the websites have slightly wrong games listed, so I'm not going to believe that anything particular is on here until I plug it in and actually see it in the menu. But here's the Atari Flashback itself. It's about the width of my hand, so it's not as small as like an SNES Mini or NES Mini, but it is fairly small. Like I said, it's about the width and length of my hand here, pretty much. So yeah, it's not giant. It is very light, and it does have this cool wood grain art on it right here on the front lip, and then all around the buttons. You have your power button, start, left and right difficulty, and your select button. On the back, the only port on the back is for the power. And then on this side is the HDMI port, which is kind of a weird spot to be on the side. I'm not sure why it's like that, but I don't know why they didn't put it like back here or under here, over here or something. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what the bottom sticker looks like here. Nothing too crazy. Then you have your power adapter, so it's this style. So maybe stick it on the end of your power strip or something like that, because it is a little big and you gotta put it in sideways there. This is the Player 2 controller. It feels exactly the same as far as I can tell. It's maybe a little looser. It's a little bit less stiff than an original Atari controller. Yeah, it's a little bit looser. Kind of feels like a really worn-in Atari controller, basically. But it's got the same type of feel. Button feels fine. And this is where you put in the AAA batteries right here. You just unscrew that. You put them in there. So yeah, that one feels not too bad. And then here's the Player 1 controller here. Again, looks the same. It's got a little connectivity button right there that I assume lights up once it's connected wirelessly. Again, a little bit loosey-goosey. You can kind of see it when I do like that. A little bit loose, but still retains the same basic feeling. Just feels kind of worn in already. Then you have a reset, select, start, and replay button right here, which actually will rewind your game 6 seconds. So if you are playing and you like mess something up, you can press this button and it will rewind your game 6 seconds. So you can get another shot at not making a mistake or something, which is another really cool feature. Sort of one of the other small things that added up to me wanting to purchase this finally. So yeah. And that's literally it. There's nothing else in here. Console, power supply, 2 wireless controllers, and that's it. And HDMI cable and instruction manual. So yeah, that is the Atari Flashback 8 Gold Activision Edition. So if you like this unboxing, go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. That would be awesome. If you like these kinds of unboxings, if you like video games, if you like retro stuff, or if you just like movies, anime, kaiju films, collectibles, Funko Pops, anything like that, go ahead and click subscribe down below. And also be sure to hit that notification bell down below, so that way you won't miss any of my future content. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.